Welcome back to my channel, everyone. In today's video, we are going to be replacing this geode that has been in my living room for several years now, and it's the new year and I want to change things up a little bit. So I want to do something textured, something abstract, and something big. That's all I know. So I am going to be attempting some textured art, the kind that I haven't tried previously, so it should be an interesting one. If all goes to plan, we do end up replacing the geode. If not, the geode stays. Let's get to it. So the general vibe around my living room where this art piece is going to be is basically shades of teal, some black, white, and grey. Those are the kind of colors that I have, and so the art is also going to be tied in with those colors. Okay, so I have my canvas ready, and in terms of supplies, I have some modeling paste, hopefully enough to have obviously some acrylic paint. I've got teal, white, I've got this mushroomy color which I think would be nice. I've got two shades of teal, although they both look quite similar, but we can use some black to sort of darken it if you like. And I have a bit of grey. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. What else? I have these. I have this gigantic brush, and I don't have a palette, so this will do for now. So I guess we just do this. So first things first, I want to tackle kind of the corners of this artwork. And for the corners, I don't want to be using any modeling paste. I just want to use some of that mushroomy, warm gray color and some white. And I just want to have like a hint of it in the corners of the canvas. And I'm going to use this massive brush that I have to kind of stroke it along the corners. Once I'm happy with the way that's blended out, I'm going to move on to mixing up some of that teal with the modeling paste. And I really had to load up a ton of color to get a dark teal that I wanted. So I kept adding in the teal, I kept adding in black, just mixing it up. It took a while, you guys. It took a lot of time for me to actually get the right sort of color that I was after, and I was starting to get a little bit worried about how much I was loading up this modeling paste. I haven't worked with it before, so I don't know how much pigment it can take, but yeah, I definitely didn't want to not have the right color, so I just kept going at it, to be honest. At one point I even added a tiny amount of blue to see if it'll help kind of deepen the shade a little bit, but honestly I don't think that did very much. So it was just the combination of black and teal that I was kind of loading up on. And then once it was mixed, it was just time for me to nervously use these spatula thingies and just kind of put the color down. I am going for a bit of like a diagonal pattern, so that's just kind of the trajectory that I'm trying to follow on these canvases. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but these are two canvases, so this is a diptych that I am attempting. So my teal is on, and I obviously want to layer on some more colors of the texture paste, but I don't know what the protocol is. Like, do I have to wait for this to dry before I can add more? Can I just add alongside on top of it? Like, what is the protocol? I don't know. What I do know is that I cannot spend a week on this project and really have to get this done. So I guess we're just gonna go for it. We're just gonna literally go from one color to the next and hopefully not make a mess. This is also the moment I realized that I haven't got enough teal everywhere. So basically where the two canvases meet, the teal should have ended on a diagonal on both of the canvases, and I did not do that, and I don't have any more teal left. So at this point, I'm thinking I am just going to scrape off some of the teal that I already have on the canvas and just kind of lay that down further to where I want it to be, to kind of like extend that teal on both the canvases. Because I figured if I mix another batch, I'm never going to get the same color. Like, I literally spent so long trying to get this shade of teal. I don't even know what all I mixed and how much of what I mixed. So there's no way I can color match it. So I'm just gonna have to scrape some from what I already have. So now it's time to wash away all of these spatulas and mix up another batch of modeling paste. For the next color, I want to mix some of that mushroomy color that I have. So it's like a warm gray, and I love that. I think I do have a few accessories, like I have a bench in the living room that's the same color. So I think that would go really nicely. So I do want to have some diagonal lines of that color, which I'm gonna now be mixing along with my modeling paste. And once I have the color that I'm after, again, I'm just slapping it on the canvas, trying to sort of lift it in a way that it creates texture and kind of peaks. But because the teal is still wet, I'm trying not to go like over the teal, so I'm not touching the two colors, but I am going pretty close to each other as possible. Again, I realized in that corner there I had not ended with the teal like I should have, so I'm just using the teal that I have from the previous canvas with a fresh spatula, just kind of slapping it on. At this stage, guys, I am just slapping on stuff. Like, that's just what we're doing here. Also, if you haven't subbed, now would be a good time for me to remind you to like, comment, sub, ring that notification bell, do all of those things that really help my channel grow, because that's literally how I can bring you more videos like these. You help me do what I love the most. Basically, I have the mushroomy color and the teal down, and I think I'm going to leave it at that for now and let this kind of dry. Let's hope it does dry, because the amount of paint I loaded in that modeling paste, I mean, I don't know. Let's hope I didn't overdo it. So I'm going to leave this to dry. It doesn't look like much at the moment, you guys, and I know, but I think this is one of those trust the process situations. So I'm just going to leave this, and we're going to come back to it once it's a little bit dry, because I want to layer on some more modeling paste, maybe do some fun gold accents. So yeah, we'll leave it at that for now.
The next day.
Okay, so it's the next day, and I have woken up feeling quite under the weather. Scratchy throat, body ache, and high temperature, and my head's pounding. And this is kind of dry. Let me bring you close and show you. Most of it is dry. There are some thick patches which are wet. I do want to do another layer with the modeling paste, just because art is therapy for me, and while I'm going to be in bed resting all day today, I think I would feel better if I did some art. I'm not going to push it. I'm just going to do a layer of modeling paste that I want to do, because I'm going to have to wait for that to dry anyway. So hopefully it won't take too long and I can get that done. So this time around, I am not mixing anything into the paste. We are just using it as it is. So we're just using the white color. So I'm able to just go into the tub and just go for it. And now I can finally go in between the colors, because everything's kind of dry now. So I'm not too worried about teal getting into the other colors. And I am also going pretty heavy on texture this time around, because I just feel like the other two layers, they're textured, but they're not quite as textured. So now with this white, I'm really going for it. Also, leave me a comment below and let me know if you have tried textured art before. I know there's a lot of ways to do this. You know, a lot of people use the modeling paste and then use like those little stencils of the arches and then kind of create the diagonal arches, and like there's so many ways of doing this. So let me know if you've tried something like this. I know I haven't, and so far it's fun. It's quite therapeutic in terms of there's no right or wrong way of doing it, and it's quite comforting to do. So let me know if you have had any experience in this.
1 week later.
So you're actually seeing me now after a whole week since I did the white on these, because I was down really badly with bronchitis. Still not fully recovered. You can probably hear it. It's just been beautiful. I don't think I've struggled with something in a very long time quite how I did with this. I still have a lot of cough. I think it's just one of those things that it's going to take its time before it actually leaves. So I feel like I want to start slowly getting into sort of normal life, if you will, because this past week feels anything but normal. and basically I'm back and I would like to do the gold accents on these two and just move this project along. So I'm going to bring you close and I'm going to do it. You're not going to see a lot of me talking now just because I can't. So yeah, let's do it. So the gold that I'm using is liquid gold by Montana. I personally absolutely love this gold. It is proper gold. It's got a shine and it's got that liquid metallic vibe. So this is definitely my go-to gold. If you don't have this, you could mix in some gold mica powder with some varnish, and that would work just as well, if not better, on some occasions. But I have this, so I'm just going to use this. I'm just using a brush here. Again, guys, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. I want to roughly lay this out in certain areas, especially in the corner of where the teal is and where the kind of colors meet. You can go as thick or thin with the gold you like. So yeah, I'm just kind of doing it the way it looks okay to me as I'm doing it. So no right or wrong way of doing it. And once everything was finally dry, I did go ahead and put the canvases into this black frame that I wanted. Again, it's a minimalistic vibe that I'm going for, and I feel like this frame is really going to accent the colors that we have and the rest of the living room. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that and frame both of these canvases before I can show you what they finally look like. So these are some close-ups for you to have a look at all the texture. The gold is doing its thing, which I love, which it should be. And I've just accented kind of like the folds from the white onto the next color with the gold. So there's kind of that transition of gold, and you can see all of that gorgeous texture. And I did end up getting the color, the teal that I wanted, which I was really pleased about. So last thing for me to do on this was to sign it, and then it was ready for me to hang it up. So all in all, this is how it turned out. I actually love how it looks. More than anything, I think I wanted a change, and I've got that. It's refreshing, it's different. Love that. As far as the textured art goes by itself, there is a learning curve to it. I do wish I would have gone heavier on the texture to have got some more folds and harsh lines. But like I said, that's hindsight. All in all, I love how it turned out. As far as the geode goes that we took off, I do have something fun and exciting that we're going to do to this in future, so stay tuned. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye! If you've enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you will like these too, so go check those out.